So, all right. So now we have made it to the part of training that I'm excited about. This is Coach's Corner with Coach B. Walk. Oh, man, she is the people's champ and all the above. Man, I'm excited to be able to introduce her. She's got a word and a message for us tonight that I want us to lock into. Do you have your notes? You got your pen and your paper? Yeah, make sure you take notes. I see it. I've seen it. There it is. And then we're going to give her our full attention and our full respect. But I called her and she said, hey, look, man, I'm ready. I can make it happen. And so she's got some material that she's going to share with us. So I'm excited to welcome my sister, Regional Vice President, $50,000 Power Builder earner on her way to being a $100,000 Power Builder earner before the end of this year. Hadn't been a Regional Vice President for a full year yet. But coming up on that anniversary quick, fast, and in a hurry. But I'm super excited to let you guys hear from her every week, but she has the floor really tonight. So I'm going to give it over to Regional Vice President, soon to be six-figure earner, Coach Benicia Walker, a.k.a. Coach B. Walker. Coach B. Walker, it's on you, sis.
All right. Thank you, Nick, for that strong introduction. Now, y'all know how Nick do it. Nick hit me up yesterday and was like, sis, you mind, doing, well, he didn't say that. He was like, you going to do this tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay. But immediately my mind went to myself as it relates to the business and things that I went through personally along my journey, because we all experience adversity. And I'm just going to kind of say, just raise your hand if you've experienced some type of adversity this week or this year in your personal life, in your business, just in general. Everyone has experienced some type of adversity. And so that's why I wanted to kind of pull that in tonight, because sometimes you may look at us and say, well, she a regional vice president, he a regional vice president, they don't go through nothing. Or, and this, you got to remember, we are all human on this call. And so we all go through some type of adversity, but it's what we do when we go through it, when we come out on the other side. So that's what's important. So we're going to kind of go over adversity tonight, okay? So just bear with me some. Pull up the presentation. All right, so we have adversity, turning what you thought couldn't be into opportunity, okay? And so what I've done, I kind of asked a few of our leaders, just two leaders, to kind of answer a few questions. We'll start with some questions to them, because this was kind of important for us to kind of get some different sides of how people view things and when they're going through stuff as well. So, of course, we know adversity, we go through problems, we go through situations. And so I wanted to ask, I reached out to Constance and Marquis, two of our leaders, and then I'm going to ask Marquis first. That was Marquis' question. How do you approach life's challenges? Is that your question, Marquis?
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah. So Marquis is going to start off. He's going to let us know how does he approach life's challenges, even as it relates to personal and also the business, Marquis.
All right, cool. So check this out. When it comes to life questions, life challenge, right? I think from the beginning of the time, we all go through that different seasons, right? But one of the things I learned how to deal with life challenges, I learned from old challenges, right? I think in every season, every level of my life, we go through different stuff every year. Last year was the pandemic. This year was the post-pandemic, right? You might have had some heartache and pain. You might have a broken relationship. You might have had let down heartache, right? What happens, I learn from those life challenges and I push forward, right? Because every situation teaches you how to become better. A wise man told me about life. He said, things will get better when you get better. I'm gonna say it again. It said, you will get better. It would get better when you get better. So when I look at a situation and deal with a life challenge, I know that if it's going on, it's an opportunity for me to get better in this situation. That's what I got, B.
All right, thank you, Marquis. One thing he said is things will get better when you get better. Yeah, we all go through things. And like I said earlier, it's the way you come out on the other side. What do you learn from those things that you go through? And did you handle that situation the same way that you did last year, that you're going to handle it now, today, or did you change? And so thank you for Marquis for that. Also, we have next Constance White. The next question for Constance. Constance, where you at? You out there?
I'm here.
Okay, so Constance, I call Constance. Constance, this is your question. When you hear the word struggle, what comes to mind? When you hear the word struggle, what comes to mind?
Okay, so I thought about this in two ways. I thought about when I hear the struggle then and when I hear the word struggle now. So normally when I would hear struggle, I will go to the why me? Life is so hard. I will go through this depression cycle. I become indecisive, right? I know the decision that I have to make, but I will be so indecisive because all I see is the struggle. Anxiety, not being consistent in my prayer time. And so that was then, but focusing on how I'm growing and moving now, I'm looking at when I hear the word struggle, or I'm going through struggle, I ask God, what is your purpose? What's the plan for this, right? I have to walk through it. When you hear in Psalms 23, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you're walking through it. You just can't stand there and go through the struggle and thinking, oh, it's going to pass. You have to push through, walk through it. Every day I got to make the decision to fight. Whether it's through this business and your relationship, whether it's your health, you're losing weight, you have to make a decision. I have to fight right now to get through this. And then I have to be consistent in my prayer time. Sometimes, I don't know if anybody go through this, you feel like God is not listening. He's not hearing me because he's not answering. I'm not going to pray anyway. But you can't be like that. God is always turning his ear towards his children. So you have to be consistent at it. Sometimes I can remember just laying my face to the ground, not even praying, but just allowing God just to wash his presence, wash over me. And then also remembering that God has done it before. We've been through things before. Some of us have so many victory stories that we can share with each other. We know God is not a one-hit wonder, right? We know if he did it then, he'll do it again. And it reminds me of the story of Joseph, right? Joseph had the dream, right? But he didn't know that he was going to be sold into slavery. His brother was going to do that. So he didn't know that Potiphar's wife was going to set him up. He had to go to jail. He had to go through all of those things, but he still got to the dream because God is faithful to whatever he tells us. And then community. You have to have the right community when you're going through struggle. Okay, you got to have the right people that's going to surround you in prayer, that's going to push you through it, that's not going to allow you to lay down and not fight through it. So that's when I think of struggle, I hear the word struggle. That was my then, but this is my now.
All right, Constance, wow. I started to get up, everybody because some of the things that she said, struggle, those people that are surrounded by you, your community, this is a community. We are the Proven Movement hierarchy. We are a community. We are a small community, and we are growing bigger and bigger each and every single day. And without this community, I wouldn't be sitting here right before you talking today. Some of y'all don't know my story, my struggle. You're going to hear a little bit of it later, but I'm telling you, without that community, and I'm so glad that you said that, Constance, that community is so important. Plugging in each week is so important because that's going to get you through that adversity that you're going through when you're listening, you're looking for something that you need to hear. Everybody is hungry at some point in time throughout the day, throughout the week for your business. You're crying, you're waking up and saying, God, am I in the right place? Am I in the right position? Am I doing the right thing? And God is saying, yes, but you got to stay plugged in. And so I'm so glad that you said that about the community. And I didn't even want to get into talk about that right now, but I'm like, she done said the right thing. The community plugging in, y'all, is so important. Real quick, y'all know how I feel about videos, YouTube, so bear with me. I want to show something that talks about adversity. It hits on it real tough, and I think that all of us need to hear this. I know somebody on this call tonight is saying, you know what, I needed to know that it's not just me going through something. It's everybody that's going through something. From the oldest person, not like age, but the oldest person in the business, to the youngest person. We don't say the seasoned person, the most seasoned person in the business, to the newest person on this call. Everybody is going through something. So I want to pull this up next, you guys. Just bear with me though. Can y'all see that screen?
Yes, we see it.
It's hard. Easy is not an option. It's hard living. Life is hard. See, it's hard when you are 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you a 1 week severance pay. You got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children and your children are crawling and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it and it doesn't work out. It's hard. Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. I couldn't understand it then. But after I got through it, then I saw that that was preparing me for bigger and better things. That as you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender. So if it's hard, then do it hard. Now, how do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times, Les? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away.
And sometimes you're barely making any progress. Sometimes you're barely making any progress at all. And that tough situation is making you want to stop. And what you eventually learn is you can't stop. When you're going through tough situations, you got to take that next step. You got to keep moving forward. And I know we're going through a pretty tough situation right now in a lot of different ways. Take that next step. Keep moving forward.
All right, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but when I heard that earlier today, I was going through a whole bunch of videos. I was like, let me see what I can. It gave me chills. I actually had to listen to it like 5 different times because I was like, oh, did they say that? Did he just say that? Because how many times we go through something and we just want to give up? How many times in this business you've gone through the smallest thing and wanted to give up? I've come home and let's just put it out there. Maybe you forgot to pay a light bill and it just slipped your mind because you feel like you got all kind of crazy things going on. Y'all, that has happened to me. I'm just gonna, I'm always very honest about what I talk about. I'm coming from a Proud America meeting on a Tuesday night and pull up and I'm like, hold on, why my garage won't open? What's going on? I got all kind of things that I'm doing. I'm going here and there, and I'm thinking, I forgot. It slipped my mind. But I could have pulled away and said, well, that was a distraction, and it took me away from what I needed to do. And so now I'm not gonna go to my Prime America meeting next week. I didn't. I made sure I did what I needed to do. All I did was I went in, got my little flashlight, got on, got some clothes, went to my sister's house the next day. No one even knew that. But I'm saying we now as people, for some weird, odd reason, have to say that we let the smallest things stop us from the blessings that God has for us. The man said, don't give up. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. Just because you saw somebody may have made it to a regional vice president within 17 months and you may have taken you a little longer, that's okay. We talked about that being everyone's different journey. It is okay. Don't give up because something they went through before they got here, you may not have been able to pull through that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own experience. Everybody has their own struggle. Everybody has their own tears that they cry at night. But you have to make sure that you stay on the path, that you're here for a reason. So when I heard that man say that today, I was like, man, I needed to hear that. That is something that I've gone through and I may be going through currently where I need to hear those words. Don't give up. It's going to take some time. It's going to take that struggle. It's going to take them sweat and tears. It shouldn't come easy. When things come easy, what happens? It goes away. He said that. So you don't want it to come easy. You want to make sure you look back and say, man, all those blood, sweat, and tears that I've been through. And now, like Nick said, I wake up to a bonus check in my bank account. I earned that. And so looking back on all those tears I did along the way to get me here, it was something, y'all. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. Okay, so what I want you to do is ask yourself, what do you do when you face adversity? You personally, because this is a personal question to you. Everybody can't come off mute at one time and talk, but I want you to ask these questions and also apply some of this up to your life. How do you react, or what do you do when you face adversity? You say, you know what, once I face adversity, I can't do it. I'm not like that person that went through it. I'm not strong enough. Or do you say, I can do it? Do you fight through it? Because it's important to fight through whatever situation that you are going through. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you be able to stand and look victory in its face, and so that's important. All right. What's the story you tell yourself about adversity? Because the story you tell yourself will honestly decide your fate. Adversity creates opportunity. Said that earlier, adversity creates opportunity, y'all. And each moment should be leaned into, not avoided. It should be leaned into when you're going through something, when you're crying at night and you saying, well, what's going on? You waking up and like Constance said earlier, and she's praying. You're praying, you have your prayer closet, wherever you pray at. You got to lean into that adversity and say, well, if I'm going through this, God, what is it that you want me to learn? What is it that you want me to do? God is going to take that situation and teach you a lesson, y'all, that's only going to bring you out on the other side a little strong. Well, much stronger. I ain't going to say a little stronger, because I remember a time had I pulled up after that Prime America meeting, I would have fell out crying and trying to call my parents to help me. But you know what? I took it like I needed to, because it just made me, I'm a stronger person now. Okay. This is what I want us to do. I thought about, what we think about people, famous people in our lives, right? Because that's what kind of comes to mind when we think about people that have faced adversity and how they've handled adversity. Did they give up on it? Denzel Washington, I heard him this morning talk about some of the things that he did to get where he was and how he wasn't getting the roles that he wanted in the beginning and how long it took, but he didn't give up from that. And so that's important to kind of hear people say that, because like I said, it takes time, y'all, to get to where you want to. You have to perfect that craft, right? So I'm gonna start with Michael Jordan. Everybody know Michael Jordan, the MVP, right? Michael Jordan. I think we mentioned him before in the past. Michael Jordan, he was denied from his high school basketball team, y'all. When he tried out for the high school basketball team, I think it was maybe a freshman or sophomore. I remember reading this to my English class. We talked about it when I was the English teacher, and he was denied because at that time he was short. He wasn't the best player. He didn't, they didn't want him, so he was denied. But what did he do? Did he actually give up? No. He spent the summers making sure that he was perfecting his craft, doing what he needed to do to improve himself, y'all, to make sure that, later on, because you got to visualize where you're going to go. Later on, he's saying, I'm going to be the top top dog, you know, and so in his mind, he was saying, when I come back to that tryouts, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna choose me. I'm gonna be on the start line, right? And so I'm gonna be in the top 5 players to be out there on that court. And so he did not give up. He had a successful basketball career at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. He also entered the league and quickly became a superstar on the court. Now I love Jordan, y'all. You know, everybody know I like Chi-Town. And so, you know, I love some Jordan. And so we know that Jordan is a 6-time NBA champion, a 5-time MVP winner, 14-time All-Star player, and also he's considered one of the greatest talents ever to play in the league. If he had given up, there wouldn't even be a Michael Jordan that we were familiar with on the basketball court. He did not give up. Okay, next, I had to put these two in there because, you know, I'm a huge Tina Turner fan, right? We got 2 amazing women that have faced adversity in their own different ways, right? So everyone knows Tina, little country girl, met Ike. Ike was very abusive, right? Tina didn't let that stop her. When she broke away from Ike, she did her own thing. She is the top queen. I love What's Love Got to Do with It. I watch the movie all the time. I could tell you all the stuff verbatim, but I'm not even gonna go that deep, but I had to throw them in there. I honestly threw these 2 women in there in between Nick when he was talking to y'all early, because I was like, I got to talk about Tina. I got to hit on Jennifer. Jennifer Hudson, that's my girl. Jennifer Hudson faced some huge adversity in her life. Everyone knows Jennifer Hudson. First of all, she didn't win American Idol. That didn't make her give up. She was number 3 on American Idol. And I watched that season. I voted for her, had all my friends vote for her. I voted for her like 3-4 times. You know, back in the day, you used to vote several times when you love somebody. Now, she didn't let that stop her. After that, there was a major tragedy that happened in her life, in her family, that could have taken her out of this world. I'm gonna say that because that was a big thing to handle, losing her family members, you know, and then not only that, the family members being killed by a family member, right? And so that was something that was really serious, but Jennifer Hudson did not let that defeat her. I saw her in concert 2 years ago in Chicago. Wonderful person, great personality. And she's not letting that stop her today. She's amazing, right? So both of these women used their adversities, right, to created an opportunity. And they came back on the other side, and it's made them stronger. And that's what we're here talking about today. Adversity is making us stronger. We're gonna face adversity. We look adversity in the face and tell adversity, you're not gonna beat me. You're not gonna win. I'm gonna come out stronger. I'm gonna go through what I need to go through. And then on the other side, I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. And that's what these women have done. Okay, just real quick, Viola Davis. Everybody know Viola Davis, right? How to Get Away with Murder. We know her from How to Get Away with Murder, The Help. There's a few more movies I can think of or say, but Viola Davis, honestly, when she grew up, you guys, very poor, very poor. They would have to eat food out of trash cans. Very poor growing up, but she didn't let that stop her. She went to school, graduated from Juilliard back in 1993, right? And after she graduated, she didn't get roles that she wanted immediately. She was getting denied left and right, rejected left and right. And you got to also understand, she always talks about the differences between how she's treated as an African-American actress, you know, versus her counterparts, and also how she wasn't paid the same as her counterparts, right? Her white counterparts. And so Viola has experienced a lot of different racism, the color of her skin being a darker tone. She's been overlooked for different things. And she talks about being that third girl from the left, meaning we got you, but you're not the main actress. You know, that you may be the supporting actress. And even if that, you may be the person that come in and pick up a dish and walk out. So those certain roles that they passed her up on, but then she didn't give up. If she had given up when she was looked over, she wouldn't be the Viola Davis that we know and we love today. You know, so we got to make sure that we take all adversities, anything that we go through, and make sure that we use that to our advantage. Okay. And then I got to include myself, right? Because if I didn't include myself, I won't be making it real. Queen, I see you looking, you're like, what's going on? This is when I first got into the business, right? This was July 2019 in the business. Brand new, had no clue what was going on. Honestly, I was about 3 months in, July, April, May, June, July, 3rd month in the business, just sitting there like, hey, but everybody didn't know that background, what I went through, you know? And so I personally have experienced insecurities at some point in my life. You know, maybe insecurities coming in, meeting everybody, not knowing what to expect, insecurities, thinking, you know what, is this right for me? What is going to happen? What is next? What is to be? Not knowing, they didn't know, just getting there. I had some adversities because my money was funny. I had to ask for some money from one of my line sisters is on the call, you know, to get me there. Had no clue. But I did what I needed to do to make sure that I could do well in this business. I wouldn't even be here had I not gone, because that July 2019 at that convention is what changed my mind about this business, right? Also, y'all don't know, your girl used to weigh 270 pounds. I have to say this because guess what? That's an adversity. That's something huge. And when you fighting against weight, you know, and you're going against, you know, if you're walking around, you 5'5.5", and people looking at you and you're a size 24 and you lose that weight by yourself, no surgery and no shade on anyone, but I did it by myself. That was diet, exercise, everything that I could do. And guess what? It changed me, because it just made me bolder. It made me trust myself. It made me believe in myself. Because if I could get through that, I can push through something like that. I knew I could get through anything. Anything, y'all. 270 pounds, that's almost 300 pounds, right? Okay, and then also, I've been broke. I felt broken. I've cried myself to sleep plenty of times. You know, I've gone through some things, major things, where I've cried. I've been told no numerous times, not just professionally, y'all. We're talking about personally in this business. Rejection is real, but those rejections, I feel like for everyone knows, there's 100 no's, but I'm gonna tell you that one yes is the person that I want that's on my team. Quality is a good thing. And so that's what we talked about earlier on the AALC call, which makes me think of that. And so looking at it, why did they reject you? It's okay. It's a reason why somebody says no to you. And so it's just God protecting you from them people being in your life. And that's how I look at it. And so I've taken my adversity, things that I've been through personally, and made sure that it just only made me stronger and use it as my opportunity. The list goes on, y'all. I've also had teammates that quit. Everybody on this call has had somebody that did not make it. They said, hey, you know what, I'm interested. And then they did not make it, right? They quit. But guess what? Do you quit because they quit? No, you don't give up because somebody else gave up. It's not, everybody's not meant to be in this business. Everybody's not meant to be in the same position, and that is okay. God has you where you are for a reason. And y'all have to look at your life and know that God, you're here for a reason. You have to understand that, right? I've been let down by others. We all have. But I can't say because I've been let down by others, I got to walk away and leave this. You know, I can't have no pity party, because just because somebody else let me down, I can't let myself down. I'm better than that. You have to be strong, and you have to want it for yourself. Also, I've had loved ones that pass away. I had loved ones pass away while I was working this business. You know, I've had, like I said, I've cried myself to sleep. I've had loved ones pass away. I've been when we used to meet off of Savoy Drive, I had relatives pass away and I still came to the meetings. I didn't, because it was something bigger than that. Those loved ones knew that I was very passionate about what I was doing, that God had placed this business opportunity into my life, and it was up to me to take it to the next level. You think they wanted me to sit at home and not do what I was supposed to be doing? You know, when I was crying and praying for God to bring something into my life that was going to help me financially, that was going to break me away from the classroom, that was going to break me away from the struggle, you know, I think about those things. I think about when that bank account was almost empty or when it was negative, and then the opportunity that came along that actually put me in a better position financially. I think about those. So that's what also helped me as well to do what I needed to do. You know, I failed my SIE the first time. I took my test, the securities entrance exam, failed it the first time. I did not give up. You can't give up. That taught me only to get back in there and keep it moving. It made me to the next time when I took the next test, the 6th, it made me study even harder. It made me to be more confident. It made me to be bolder, because when you doubt yourself, sometimes we overthink things. And that's what I was doing. I was overthinking myself. I was doubting myself. And that made me strong. It made me more confident, right? And then also on my journey to RVP, I experienced illnesses beyond my control, y'all, on my run. Y'all know I had COVID, and COVID made all kind of crazy things happen, like a heart rate of 155, a sugar glucose of 37 dropping, numbness and tingling in my face and my arms and stuff. I went through a few other things, all kind of tests, 6 months straight. And I guarantee you did not know what I was going through unless I opened up my mouth and I told you. But everything I was going through, God was making me stronger, and God was preparing me for where I am now. And that's what I'm saying. You have to take what you go through, each adversity that you go through, you have to make that into an opportunity. I could have given up. I could have laid in my bed and said, you know what, I can't do it. I can't. But I was fighting for something that was bigger than me, something that was greater than me. And you have to focus on that and make sure you fight for that with all your might, right? And then also, like I said, I could have fallen and got back up. But I'm still here, y'all. I'm here. And why did I need to say that? Because somebody on this call needs to hear that. Somebody is saying, I'm going through too much. I can't take it. I want to be in this business, but I got all this going on. How can I focus on this right now when I don't even know my next move? But you prayed for God to do something bigger and greater in your life. You pray for change. You pray for opportunity. You pray to make a difference and to be a blessing in somebody else's life. And so you have to make sure that whatever you're going through, you just make sure that your test becomes your testimony, right? You have to make sure that you use that for somebody that needs that. Somebody needs to hear what you've gone through. Somebody needs to hear your experiences so that they can actually use that while they're on their journey in their business, or while they're on their journey personally. That's why I love what we do, is because at the end, we always share our why with the world. We get to share our why. Okay, so in order to help us to focus on this, right? To help us to reach these, use our adversity into opportunity, right? These are some things that I do focus on, okay? Because even going through that, it is hard, it is difficult. So the first one, I hope you can see it. I know I tried to make it look cute. Okay, the first one, we have faith and believe in your desires. The man talked about on the video having faith, being patient, believing in your desires. There's something bigger, so there's something greater than what you're going through currently. You hear me always say, my current circumstance is my why is bigger than my current circumstance. So believe in your desires. God will provide. God will give you the desires of your heart, but you have to believe in those things that what you ask for. So if you're speaking, you're saying, what, I would love to be a regional vice president. I want to be a business owner. I want to have my own things. I want to be able to wake up in the morning on the end of month end and going into it and have a bonus check. I want to be able to have more time with my kids. I want to have that financial freedom, so you have to make sure that you believe it, because the way you see things, because we all are visionaries. We have a vision, right? We're visionaries, right? So anything that you see and you believe, y'all, you can make it happen. And so next is have patience. It's not going to come overnight. It's not going to come overnight. And I'm going to say that because it did not come overnight for me. It may have come quickly during this business, but it did not come overnight. There was plenty of years. I have an MBA. I have 2 master's degrees, where I have went back and I went to school thinking that things were going to change and I was going to get that 6-figure career. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't. I had to have patience, right? And so things are not going to happen overnight, and it's okay. So when you do get something, you will actually appreciate it more, right? And then consistency. Somebody on this call says, why did it happen? You got to be consistent, y'all. Just because you did something yesterday don't mean you skip it today. You have to get up tomorrow, the next day after that. You have to make sure that you are feeding yourself mentally, spiritually, making sure you're taking care of yourself emotionally, and then also making sure that you are honestly touching your business. You hear us say, touch your business each and every day. If you're not touching it, what, you on vacation? Okay, you're on vacation, wake up the next day and get off vacation and come on back to it, because you got to be consistent. You can't take too many days off because you're fighting for something that no one else around you understands. And it's about you and what you want. And so you got to be consistent with it every single day, every single hour, right? And then also you have to have a game plan. Like I said earlier, a vision. Coming in this business, my game plan, once I was at Atlanta in that room, and I was at home office, and I was looking like, man, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to be a regional vice president. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make some things happen. And when I get into Houston, because I was newly licensed when I left, didn't even know my license had hit the system, so I was in the air just had landed, right? And so when I get to Houston, I'm gonna hit the ground running. I saw it. In my mind, that's what I wanted. And so I had a game plan of how I was going to get there. And so I knew right then and there, I'm going to connect to my coach each and every day. I don't care if he don't like me. I don't care if he's tired of hearing me. I'm going to make sure I connect to my coach each and every day because I wanted it. I saw it. I was hungry. When I saw those people on that stage, I can imagine myself being on that stage where they were. And so I had a vision, right? And then also having a growth mindset. You can't have a fixed mindset, y'all. You can't have a fixed mindset. You have to have a growth mindset. And I kind of wrote a few things down on this. So what a fixed mindset does is it limits a person to believe in their basic ability, the things that they can do, their intelligence and their talents. You cannot have a fixed mindset. It's important for you to have a growth mindset that allows you to understand your talents, to understand your ability. Your abilities can be developed through effort, right? Good teaching and persistence. You believe that everyone can get smarter if they work harder. You're not limiting yourself in any kind of way. And you're going the extra mile and making sure, you know what? If I couldn't do this yesterday, guess what? I'm gonna be able to do it tomorrow because I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make sure I perfect my craft and work on it. The next one is respect the process. You got to respect the process, y'all. It's very crucial. It's crucial. The more you focus on the process than the outcome, the more practicing that you do, the more you actually teach yourself, train yourself. If you're logging into Primerica Online and you're doing a practice application, if you're going through a FNA and you're practicing, that's going to help you perfect your craft. When you focus on those things, you respect the process, the things that you're being taught, it's going to help you, y'all, to grow in every kind of way. And then also focus on what you can control, right? A lot of times we don't do well with that. We get real upset, right? Because we're so worried about things that we can't control. Well, why they do that? Well, why he said that? I don't know. It doesn't matter because there's nothing that you can do about someone else's thoughts. You know, you can only tell someone something and try to help them, but you can't control someone. The only person that you control is who? Self, right? So you got to focus on what you can control, your actions, the way you react to something, the things that you do in your business. And then also self-awareness. You got to know who you are, right? You got to know who you are. You got to know what you're doing in this business. You got to know how to control your emotions. You got to remove the emotions from the business. You have to believe in not just your desires, but you also got to believe in yourself. And so this is going to help you because in different areas you're looking, you're saying, you know what? I'm aware that I didn't handle that the right way, or I'm aware that I need to work on this, and it's going to help you to improve yourself overall. When you improve yourself overall as a person, it helps you in your business. And then also clarity of purpose. Okay, so honestly, it's in this, my purpose is not, I'm focusing on the big houses, the diamonds, the pearls, the rubies. That's not why I'm in this, right? I have a why. You know, my why is to make sure, we've heard this before. My parents that worked their butts off. My mother just retired. And when I heard someone, Mika Saunders, come on the call, and she said, who wants to retire their mom? My mom retired this year. You know, I'm able to send money when I want to, you know, but it's not where I need it to be. And so my why is so big, and there's so many things that I want to do. And so you got to make sure that you understand your purpose. You got to understand that you're here for other people, to serve the community, to serve others. You know, it's not just about you and self. And then y'all, deal. I focus on deal. The deal rule. This is something that I live by. It's an acronym that I came up with in my sleep. I was like, you know what? I was doing a presentation, getting ready to do a presentation for a Barber College. And I said the deal rule. Don't ever allow yourself to lose. You know, but there are so many times in the past you look and you do something and you give up. There have been times in the past where I've done something and I've given up, you know, and so I've told myself, I'm not allowing myself to lose. I am going to do what I need to do to go to the next level. I am. If it means me staying up at night all the way to the next day, I don't care. I'm going to make sure it happens. When Nick called me at the end, almost the end of month end, and he said, Benicia, you better make that run back to RVP after I had gotten my passed my test, right? I had to requalify. He said, go ahead, you got to make it run. And it wasn't even 2 whole weeks left. And we had to do $17,000 in premium to get it done. And we went ahead and we did it because I couldn't allow myself to lose. I had come too far. Don't allow yourself to lose. Don't allow yourself to fail. Don't allow yourself to give up, y'all. You have so much potential. Your why is bigger than your current circumstance. Anything that you are going through in life, there is a purpose behind it. It's only going to make you stronger, y'all. It's only going to allow you to deal with wherever you're going in the next level. If you're praying for God to send you something that ain't came yet, it's because God say you're not ready for it. You can't handle it. You ain't gonna know what to do with it. But once you're able to deal with what you're going through, you'll understand it. You'll approach it differently. You'll talk differently. You'll walk differently. I wasn't the same person years ago. You know, somebody could have said something to me and I was out. But now it's different. I'm in and I'm not going to lose. So I'm telling y'all today, go by the deal rule. Don't ever allow yourself to lose, okay? And I'm going to end with this poem, Still Standing. When I look at the road at which I came and the bridges I had to cross, the mountains I was asked to climb and rivers I swam across, it doesn't seem likely I would still be able to stand. Adversity kept me on my knees constantly, but it also made me who I am. Somebody out here needed to hear this today. And I'm so glad that when I woke up, I was like, Lord, what I talk about adversity is something we all go through. You know, I just pray that you allow that the things that you're going through, the struggles that you're going through, and make sure that you turn those into opportunity. Because in this business, everything that you are going through, you will need it. But everything that you will get, you know, you're going to come out on the other side and you're going to look back and you're going to thank God for taking you through that. I promise you will. And then, you know, I got the arrows that says, hey, you going to give up or you going to try again? And I want everybody on the call to make sure that they don't give up and keep trying again. Nick, I just left it open for any questions and answers. If you want to ask any questions, you can. Or not. I think I just you know, like the whole last thing slide.
Man, Coach that was amazing. That was so awesome. Y'all give it up for her. Man, let me wow, sis. I mean, you know, I think that what you keyed in on today is a part of the business that is kind of like that element that everybody experiences, but nobody really likes to talk about, you know, or if they talk about it, sometimes they can feel as though that they're letting in like the boogeyman or something, right? But it's a natural part of the business. It's just a matter of being able to know how to digest it. And to really see it for what it is, and that's adversity. Adversity is not here to break you. It's not here to bully you or anything like that. It's really to get you better. you know, it's beckoning you to a higher level. And if you just really change your attitude towards things, nothing is either good or bad. It's really just your attitude towards it. Then you can actually use that adversity and harness it, and it could be your advantage. You know, it could really be your advantage, and you can look back and say, man, I'm so glad that I went through that, because that was necessary in order to take me to another level. And so I love the 10 principles that you went through: faith and belief in your desires, have patience, consistency, having a game plan, growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, respect with a K, respect the process, put some respect on the process, right? Focus only on what you can control. I think a lot of times we get just pulled into trying to focus on things that we cannot control. And that's where a lot of our frustrations and bitterness can come from. But focus only on what you can control, and you can only control your attitude, your activity, and your attendance. Your attitude, your activity, and your attendance. Don't get so focused on the things that you can only influence but not can control. Focus on the things that you can control, right? And be a good example. Be a good example. Self-awareness, knowing thyself. You know what your triggers are. You know what you need to work on. You know the things that you weak in, that you deficient in. You know what you need to show up and get stronger at. You know yourself, right? And so make sure that you are building yourself up. Give yourself the vitamins and the information and the support that you need to make sure that you're on the right path. Clarity of purpose, my goodness, that's the whole ball game right there. And then you put the icing on the cake, sis. And know, for me, this really blessed me. The deal rule. The deal rule. That's powerful right there. That sounds like the name of a book. The deal rule, right? Don't ever allow yourself to lose. Don't ever allow yourself to lose. Don't sabotage your success, right? Don't snatch don't snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Yep, I said it the right way. You right there at the 1 yard line and fumble the ball, right? You don't give yourself an opportunity to win because you're afraid of success. Don't allow yourself to lose. See yourself as God sees you, and that's because you are a winner. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of the Almighty. He didn't make no mistakes. God don't make no junk. You're here for a reason or purpose to do something big and something special with your life. Don't ever allow yourself to lose. Sis, I love that. I thought that was so powerful. So powerful. I just wanted to kind of recap them 10 principles, let you know that they impacted me as you went through them. That's so awesome. Let me hear from the field trainers. Trainers, any questions that you guys may have for Coach B. Walk? Anybody, any questions or comments that you guys may have for Coach B. Walk?
Just a comment. I'm just, that's my sis, so but to touch on adversity, and just to all of us, really, especially the leaders, we have to be open to what we go through. We have to allow our recruits to see it, because sometimes they only see or only hear all the good stuff, and they get so caught up in that to where it doesn't happen for them, they lose that hope and that faith. But if we allow ourselves just to be vulnerable and transparent, I mean, we can really bless our recruits. We could bless each other, because I know as leaders, we need to see that in each other to push ourselves on, because sometimes we get stuck and we don't know how to get out. And if I see Aunt Jackie, she telling me how she pushed through something, it gives me hope. It fuels that fire again. I can remember having a conversation with Nick, and I was telling him about the first time I went to Prospect. And I said, man, Nick, I saw somebody I wanted to talk to, but I was so scared. I walked around that whole store and I followed that woman like I was crazy. And Nick and when he was like, oh, I did the same thing. I was so scared. I walked out. At least you walked around the store. I walked out the store. But when he told me that, y'all, it's like a weight just lifted. Because it's like, oh, he went through that too. Here he is, a regional vice president, $250,000, $300,000 earner, on his way to be SVP, but he went through that. Okay, let's go. I can do this now. I can do it. But because he was vulnerable at that time and transparent, I was able to see his struggle. So thank you, RVP Benicia, for having this. It was so needed at this point of summer separation. We needed to see that, to fuel our fire again, to know that we cannot give up, because just like we talked about last week, God's standards. We have to choose him in this business. And it's going out and touching other people and blessing other people. Even though they might say no, it's our job to do it, because that's what he has blessed us with, this opportunity to do. So thank you so much. That's my piece with it, but it was just phenomenal job, sis. Phenomenal.
Yo. Can y'all hear me, Coach? Can y'all hear me on here?
Yeah, we got you, bro. Talk to us.
Man, hey, thanks, B, man. Like, listen, when Benicia was talking about, I think you're talking about the things that she went through as an RVP, right? I think what stood out was her abilities, right? And so, in our heart and our leadership, right, Stephen Coleman just rubbed up in me a lot of ways. We learned so much, and I see all that. I see Stephen Coleman, Benicia, because she got it, y'all. She got the juice. He was talking about something a couple of weeks ago that I see that resonate with Benicia said. It's about talking about her abilities. Benicia has a lot of amazing abilities, y'all. Y'all don't know. She got a lot of amazing abilities. But I think one of the things we talked about when it comes to ability that she is, and that can encourage everybody on this call, right, having coachability, right? Benicia is really coachable, right? Then also, my curriculum trying to get me right. Then also, in addition to that, she talked about being creativity. She's very creative, y'all. Like, she's one of the most creative people that you know, y'all, like for real. And then last, she has a high level of credibility, y'all. Benicia is credible like no other person on this call, y'all. And so I think all of us on this call, collective part of this team, we have those things. And right, what blessed me about it is, you know, that you can be able to deal, right? You know, what it mean, be deal? Come on, tell me what it get. Tell me what it is. What deal mean?
Don't ever allow yourself to lose.
There it is, y'all. She did not allow herself to lose, right? She did not allow herself to lose. And everybody on this call, don't allow yourself to lose, man. Because God has a blessing for each and every one of you. And right now, you're in the right place at the right time. Let's go!
Some sauce, bro. Excellent job. Excellent. Thank you for those comments. Auntie, I see you was coming off mute. Talk to us.
Yes, I was going to start off saying, don't ever allow yourself to lose. I love that. And I want to thank you for this phenomenal training of encouragement.
Auntie, I think your computer is trying to play a prank on you. It's freezing up. Man, I know the feeling. They kind of our joint kind of did that to me on Sunday. So, Auntie, can you hear us?
But I wanted to thank you for my internet is unstable. Can y'all hear me? Am I back? I'm back.
Yep, you're back. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what y'all heard or what didn't hear, but I was saying it felt like it was a mirror being placed before all of us so that we could see, kind of do a self-evaluation and see where am I now? And it allowed us to see ourselves and encourage ourselves in the Lord by hearing that, yeah, Tina Turner had adversities, you know, Michael Jordan had adversities, you know, and you can put that mirror up and say, yeah, we all do, but don't ever allow ourselves to lose. And then when you said that number of what you needed to get to that RVP program, you said something to the tune of you needed 17 grand. You were like, let's get it done. I'm like, girl, you are bad to the bone. And I just want to thank you for being just a phenomenal example to the entire team. You know, and like Quee said, all I ever see with you is that you're coachable. I just see whatever play is called, you know, by the Bracy's, you're like, let's go. You know, so I just want to say thank you for an amazing training. And thank you for, you know, allowing us to put that mirror up in front of ourselves so we can do that self-evaluation and make sure that we looking good so we can go and do a good thing.
Thank you, Auntie. That was fantastic. Thank you for that. Coach B. Walk, any comments and anything you
I
want
was
to say?
just saying, thank you, Miss Jackie. There were times where, you know, the Bracy's would tell me certain things, and I'm like, why are they saying that? You know, but that's the coach. And so if they're telling you something, they know something I don't know. And so for me, you know, I heard Steven say, never follow someone who's never been where you're trying to go. And if they were where I wanted to be, I got to listen to them. And so, you know, I didn't always agree. Trust me, I gotta do this in my mind, but I did what I needed to do. Had I not, I wouldn't even be here. I already know, because we always self-sabotage ourselves. You know, we talk ourselves out of doing something, and it would have been times where I would have done that, you know. And so it was like, maybe, like I said, somebody on this call needs to hear some of the things I was saying, but it was times where it was like Nick knew in the call. He would know when to say the right thing. And I'm like, how he know to call me? You know, but it's just, you gotta be coachable. Marquita, he said one thing, and you know, the thing is I can't even recall a time where I've ever really gone against anything they told me to do. If they said, hey, go ahead and do it, I'd go ahead and do it, you know. And I may be like, man, well, why are you saying that? But it worked. It worked from the start, coming in the door. And so it's been an amazing journey. A lot of that, I did talk about that run to RVP. When you do become an RVP, it's an amazing experience, y'all, but you still have adversity. And so I wanted everybody to understand, I see you, I see all the great things, amazing things that you are doing in your business, everyone, all the leaders on the call. And I understand life is real, you know, but just don't give up on the dreams, the goals that you have for yourself and your family. You know, and we're all in here together. Like Constance said earlier, we're a community, you know, a community of everybody being around you, everybody reaching out and praying for you and talking to you and uplifting you and just saying the right things at the right time. And so I just want to say I'm thankful for everyone. I always say that because I really am. I always ask for God to allow me to be a blessing to someone else as they're a blessing to me. And so I'm always open to hearing different things from different people, you know, because you can learn something from the newest person coming in on the team, you know. And so that's the greatest thing about being a leader, is that you'll be able to also listen to others as well. And so thank y'all for even allowing me to come in, Nick, because some of the stuff I was saying to them, I needed to hear, you know, for myself, you know, because, you know, when we go through things, y'all, sometimes, and we don't remember what we went through to get where we are. And so earlier, I listened to my YouTube video when I did have COVID around my birthday last year. And I was just crying because I was like, you know what, God, you really did allow me to do all those things. And I was sick and nobody even knew, but I pushed through everything that I needed to do in order to get where I am. And so I'm just truly thankful for everyone and being able to share this. But just don't give up, y'all. Don't ever allow yourself to give up. Now, I don't care who is telling you that you can't do it. I don't care who is telling you what you're doing with that Prime America business. So that ain't gonna get you anywhere. Don't allow yourself to give up. Don't allow yourself to lose. You're in this to win it, and you're here for a reason. And then, you know, somebody, like Nick said, somebody making that run to RVP this month. Don't ever allow yourself to lose. Make sure that you do what you need to do in order to get where you have to go. And so down to the last minute, the last second, and you can do it because you deserve it. And so everybody on this call, you deserve it. You deserve everything that your heart desires. And so I want you to make sure that you believe in yourself. You believe that you can do, if you want to be a regional vice president, you can believe that it's going to happen. It will happen. You know, you have to see it. You have to believe it. And so I'm standing with you as you make your run, and I'm encouraging you along the way. I'm not saying names because we didn't say names, but I'm just saying it's going to be a beautiful month at month end, and I cannot wait to see it. And so, like, I love everybody on the call, you guys, and I hope you have a great night. I'm out, Nick, because you know I can talk a lot. I'll probably go into a sermon real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. All right, y'all.
Very good, very good. A-Town, do you have something to say?
I came off mute. I was just going to say that, you know, now that she has given us what to do, how to stand, how to fight through the adversity, now each and every one of us on here has to take that next step. We have to put it into practice. And so if this was for somebody on here, and so for some of the newest people, you know, you might not have adversity yet in the business because you might have just got started. You might be still trying to figure out what this is. Now is the time for you to say, okay, whatever comes my way, I'm going to put it over to the side and I'm going to keep fighting for my goals. And so she said one thing, Benicia said one thing, you got to stay coachable. If your coach calls a play, you know, let's make some phone calls, let's set some appointments, send out this text message. You got to push through that. So what something else happened on the side, you got to keep pushing to it. And also whatever the goal is that you guys have put into place for your team or for your group or for your group of folks, you know, you got to do that. And so you can't let anything get in the way. So if there's one thing out of this that you can take tonight, make sure you remember all the videos and the poem and the deal. I wrote that down. You know, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything get in your way. And more importantly, run the play that your coach is giving you to run. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you so much for the training, RVP Benicia Walker and Nick and Qui and Constance. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Awesome job. Well, what I'm going to do is, before I go into announcements, y'all give it up one more time if y'all don't mind. Come off mute for Coach B. Walker in the woo-woo!
Yeah.
Thank you, Benicia.
Awesome. What an inspiration.
Good job.
Wonderful message.
Very good.
Very encouraging.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Stop the recording here.